Hi friends and my fellow beaders and crafters, welcome back in. Happy BEADMAS Day 8 to each and every one of you, and happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are having a good one, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, and you are going to enjoy today's inspiring project. So my friends, as you know, I've been mentioning throughout the series, if I have a kit available on any project that I'm doing through the 12 days, if I'm offering it in a kit form, I will link it in the video, and today is one of those days. Today brings us another beautiful kit for the Sacred Horizon double strand beaded and chain bracelet. Yay! Thank you, by the way, each and every one of you that have been popping in and out of my store, getting your kits, getting your gifts and stocking stuffers, and buying my finished pieces throughout the season. Your support means a whole lot. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. So why don't we look at what I have for the Sacred Horizon bracelet. My friend, Synthetic Turquoise. I love this palette for the holiday season, but another beautiful piece of jewelry that, in my opinion, can go any year. And also, guys, what I love about this is I feel like it's an ageless, beautiful, timeless, classic design. And really, you can design this anyway. Of course, I'm going to show you how I designed the kit, and we'll bead this up today together. However, you can absolutely put your spin on it. But you're not going to go wrong, guys. Look at how beautiful this synthetic turquoise in the bone has the most beautiful veining in these beads. It's just darling. That against the champagne, a little bit of copper, and this gorgeous aqua green I've got going on. Oh, my friends, it's just beautiful. So me dump my beads out, make sure that none go flinging. And it's a beautiful metal. This is 18K GP, I believe. It's 18 or 24, I can't remember at the moment, over our 304 stainless steel, so it's tarnish resistant. Now, if you want to permalac your findings, you can certainly do that. No problem with that. But this is 304. The other thing that will be in your kit will be your bead stringing wire, of course, your number 2 crimp tubes. Now, you'll get quite a few, and you'll get some extra beads too. Your bead stringing wire, friends, is the Softflex 49 strand in the beautiful bone color. And you'll get plenty of that. I have already actually cut my bead stringing wire and just crimped it off and prepared it. So don't worry about that. You'll get one continuous piece of wire. I love this chain, guys. It's very dainty, and I think it works well in here. It is a darling I think it's 2.5 millimeter. And I think you get 4 or 5 inches of that. So you can cut your chain, or you can fold it in half, which is what I am going to do today. A nice lobster, and these are those locking jump rings. So really good quality findings. So let's get into it, shall we? Let me pull you out just a little bit, and let's get to designing the beautiful Sacred Horizon synthetic turquoise bracelet. So, as I said, friends, I've already gone ahead and prepared my bead stringing wire. So I just cut 2 pieces. We're not going to do too much beading, about 3/4 of it. And I prepared my wire. Now, what I did was I went ahead and fed a crimp tube down both wires, grabbed one of those wires, pulled it back through to make a small of a loop, or you can make any size loop you want, and went ahead and crimped it off with the magical crimper. You can use your standard crimping method if you want, but that's all I've done there, to just go ahead and prepare my wire. And now what I'm going to do, friends, I'm going to separate my strands. I'm going to feed 4 of these beautiful little teeny tots in this like aqua green. They're so pretty. And as I just mentioned, I did put a couple extra beads in here. You can really design this any way you want, or just put them in your stash. Put them in your stash, tuck them away for something else. But the champagne, friends, and this aqua green undertones are just stupendous. There's a hint of bronze. It just works, guys. It just works. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so I've got that going for me. Okay, now I'm going to put my strands together. I'm going to feed my cross on. Okay, and so now this is what we have. Okay, and we'll straighten it out, make it look perfect in a few minutes here. Okay, now I am going to separate my strands, guys. And what I'm going to do here is I've got these cute coppers. These are teeny tot rondelle shaped. They're adorable. They're like a disc rondelle. I'm going to feed 2 of those down each wire. And then I am going to go with the 6mm in the aqua, and then the champagne bicone, and then 1 more of those little copper rondelles. And so we'll repeat that same thing over here. So 6mm, and then the champagne bicone, and the copper rondelle. And that's what we're working with there. I'm going to put my strands now back together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on these 3 synthetic turquoise in the rounds. Now everybody's will be different. You can see what these look like. Oh, the veining is just beautiful. So they are 100% man-made, by the way, a synthetic turquoise. So they're really beautifully made and well cut. So and it makes, you know, turquoise is so expensive, but it makes it affordable, right? So next I am going to keep my strands together, and I am going to put on that beautiful 8mm, and then the champagne, and then we will end with the 6mm there. So you could do a little dangle if you wanted with that bicone. And also if you didn't want to put 2 on here for the little coppers on each one, you can completely mix it up here, guys. So I'm going to hold my bead stringing wire now. I'm going to fuss with this for a second. And what I'm going to do is just make sure kind of everything is straight. And then I'm going to start to put a little bit of bend in my wire and for my little split stations here, and kind of just pull that out a little bit so it just has a little bit more depth there, but split. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing up here with this one. Oh, beads are falling off. Okay, and same thing, I'll just kind of push the wire and get some flexibility going there. Uncross my wires would also be helpful, Jen. Very beginner friendly, friends. And also, do you see what I mean? Like, the style is truly ageless. Anybody, and it's almost like a very neutral style as well. Just the design and the beads here, I think they're pretty neutral. They're pretty neutral to just about anybody at any age. So I really love this design and these beads. Let me get these pulled up here. And that looks a whole lot better to me. Let me get my beads fed back out here. And then we're just going to crimp this off. Again, we're going to put a 2x2 crimp down both wires. And I'll use a magical crimper. And then we will turn around a loop. And before we crimp our loop, we're going to add the chain directly on there. Okay, so that's what I have. All right. And so I'm going to grab one of my wires, let the other one hang out. I am going to grab my chain, get that tail fed back through that crimp. And then let me move that crimp up, and then we'll pull that tail and crimp it off. So we don't want it to be too tight, but we will snug it up. So we'll just hold the chain here. I'm going to pull that together. Push the crimp. Keep pulling down a little bit here. So that looks the way I want it to look. You do want to have some movement here. So we don't want to tighten it up too much. But I don't want that gigantic of a loop either. So that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to put this wire right in the center, which is right where he wants to go. And let me take one last look at my bracelet and see before I crimp that off. Looks pretty good to me. Oh, guys, this is really beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Alrighty, let's go ahead now and crimp that off. And we'll go round and round. And trim all those wires off there in a sec here. We'll put our hardware on and we'll have a beautiful bracelet. So let me see here. So we're going to be real careful that we're cutting the right wires here. So that's flush cut. And now this one is trying to get caught up in my chain. Let me get in there very well. There we go. And plenty of wire left over. And so now what I'm going to do, guys, is kind of lay this flat. And then I'll find my center link. And that's where I will add a jump ring. So I'll grab some pliers for that. Move these little extra supplies out of the way. So I did give you this little teeny tot. It goes beautifully through this chain. So I think that's a 4mm oval there. So I'm going to use the 4mm oval here and feed that center link right here on this, as well as that lobster. Teeny teenies. There we go. I got it. And the lobster. Now, if you want to put your lobster on the other side, you can do that too. But it will fit on this little teeny tot jump ring. That's why I gave you a couple of options here with your jump rings. I like this here on this chain, the oval, because it gives it less of a chance, you know, to fall off. All right, so you've got the oval security there. So there's that, and then we will go on this side and grab a 8mm jump ring and just put that on that loop. Oops. And things are flinging, so it's par to the normal here. Oh my gosh, you guys. Alrighty, and click Wonderbar. And there it is, right there. Okay, my friends, and the Horizon beautiful, beautiful beaded and chain bracelet. Look at how darling that is, you guys. I'll do the try-on test. Oh, I love this hardware. Love it. Let's get that on there. And so, and again, guys, cut your chain any size that you would like. With that bead stringing wire peeking through, you know, at the split stations, and then of course at the finishing, you know, you can make a much smaller loop. I'm not mad at it because it's that beautiful soft flux wire. So that is what we have for day 8. I sure hope you all enjoyed making a beautiful bracelet project and you're inspired. Like I said, will go ahead and link the kits in the video for you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for day 9. In the meantime, friends, be blessed.